Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to create thumbnails for free. So let's say you have several social media accounts like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and you want to create professional thumbnails for free. So let me show you how to create these thumbnails. So what I actually use is the following. I use Snapper. So if I go to, let me just enter the following. You can see we have the website called snapper.com. At this moment, there are two different versions which you can actually use because you have the free version and the paid version. So right now I'm using the paid version. Let me just go to, let me open a new private window and I go to snapper.com. Here I'm going to actually, first of all, to use Snapper you need to get started for free, or you can actually log in if you've created an account. So I'm going to just click get started for free. I'm going to enter a name. Let me just enter the following name, Calvin Johnson, and let me enter an email address. And then I'm going to enter my password, and then you need to actually confirm that you are not a robot. So we're going to say get started. So you can see that it's trying to actually check if this email address has been used before or not. So actually, why I loved the Snapper is actually because it's easy to use, it's straightforward. Here you can see it's actually a video showing you on how to use Snapper. But for now, I don't want to. Let me just click on that. We can
Hey,
actually,
this is Johnny from Snapper,
you can see,
and
I'm just going to cancel that for now. Okay, I'm ready to get started. So here you can see we have the different social media. We can actually use thumbnails we can create. You can see we have for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, uh, Pinterest, YouTube thumbnails. So I used to YouTube thumbnails a lot, and also you can see for blogging, headers and banners, and social and display ads. So you can see that these are actually for free. So when I just click on YouTube thumbnails, for example, and here you can see we have some template which you can use, some beautiful template which have already been created, which you can use to create your YouTube thumbnail. So when you go to YouTube, you see those beautiful thumbnails that have been created. You'll be thinking, how do they create those thumbnails? Well, this is one of the tools that they use, those professional YouTubers or social media professionals use to create their thumbnails. So here you can see we can just scroll down and decide to actually select in one of the following thumbnails that has been created, one of the templates we can actually use. But let me just select one of them, and then we can start editing. Let me just go for, let me go for this. Let me see. Okay, let me just go for that. Here we go. Here you can see this is actually the thumbnails, but you can, mind you, by if I decided I can actually edit these thumbnails. Here you can see this is actually the background of the thumbnails. If I go to the background here, I can decide to actually change these thumbnails and enter a different background. And if I can actually remove this, you can see we have a different background totally. But I can actually go and decide to go for a pattern background. You can see you can see that the background just change. So this is how you can actually use this Snapper, you can actually use it to create a very beautiful professional thumbnails. And here you can also, if I go to graphic, I can decide to actually just go for photos. You can see we have some image here we can actually use. So for example, I can decide to insert this very image and then just make this look more smaller. Let me just make this smaller here and just put it at the middle, and I can decide to actually just make this the opacity you can see in line. But the disadvantage of this is that to actually remove the image background, you need to go for the paid version. You can see that I'm not allowed to actually do that, so you need to go for the paid version. But mind you, I can decide to just insert a text here and just let me just do the following. And I can just put Calvin Johnson to this. Yeah. So I can put Kelvin Johnson to this. And the best feature what I love about this snapper is I can actually save my work. You can see it's being saved. And here we can decide to actually resize as well. We can resize and change it to actually a different social media post we want to use, it different thumbnails. I can change it to actually Facebook, because right now this actually, every social media have their own format. You can set the size of, for example, Instagram posts, the size you need to use. And so this snap actually configure that size for you. So here you can see we have our YouTube thumbnails, and we can change it to Facebook post if we want to do just that. So here you can see we have our Kelvin Johnson. I can go to graphic again and decide to select this photo here and just put this side by side with this very beautiful lady. So we can decide to actually, you can see, just try to align it for me. And also we can decide to change the font of this text. We can decide to go for a different kind of text and choose the design you prefer. So well, let me switch to the other paid version of Snapper, and let me show you what you can actually create, some beautiful thumbnails you can actually create using Snapper. So let's say I move to actually Snapper right here to this is a paid version I'm using. This is actually from my account because I'm paying for it every month. So, and I decide to actually create from scratch. So here, if I just to create from scratch and I decide to just, let me first of all go for a background pattern, and I just enter some random pattern that has been actually selected by default, and we can decide to go for a graphic. I have some ones I've uploaded here, or I can go for just select photo. So let me show you something. If I select this photo, for example, I can decide to remove the image background of this photo. So it's trying to remove that image background, and here we go. You can see we only have this beautiful lady right now. So now we don't have those images here. So that is how you can actually, we can decide to go for a different image entirely as well. Let me just insert some beautiful image and then remove the background of this image, and here we are left with these two married couple. So now you can see this is how you can actually create a beautiful image. So for the text also, you can actually have the add a text. We can add some of the body text as well, or I just can decide to say, okay, let me just put the following. Just go. So this is, you can see we can then go for the heading of the text, and we can just decide to just put. Okay, so here I can actually just decide to actually make it more bigger. I can change the text size. I can increase the text size. I can even change the color of it. You can see we can change that to white. I can go to the custom and change the color of the text. You can see that is actually a bright one. We can also change the fonts. You can scroll down. You can see we have different fonts we can actually use. I can just put that, and we can also make the line a little bit more, give a line a little bit space. Also the height, we can also change the height. Here you can see the opacity, we can actually change that as well, and also some of the shadows. So you can actually play with all this. But what I love about this is that I can actually duplicate. So it's trying to duplicate. So say view your image, I can actually duplicate it, and we have a difference. It's going to open a new browser for me. You can see here we go, we have a duplicate of our thumbnails we are creating. And also I can actually resize. And just change to Instagram post. I says I'm going to override my current post. You can see it's just changed, and all the text are just merge and form a very good Instagram thumbnail post. So here I can decide to say, okay, I want to actually move this, or we can decide to actually, for example, you can see if I bring this text here, I can move this text to the back layer. Just see, you can see now the text is at the back of the image. So that is how you can actually, we can see that the text is at the back of the image. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. So this is the tool. This is one of the best tools I've actually found. It's very easy to use. You don't need a lot of tutorials to actually start creating thumbnails. So it's just simple and straightforward, and also creating And mind you, if you want to actually create a free, which of course you can use, actually always create a free account, but you can always create 3 posts at a time. So by creating 3 posts, then you'll be asked to actually register or pay for it. But the 3 wonderful posts you're going to be creating is absolutely free. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more IT videos. Bye.